All right, hello, we're gonna learn how to make all the letters for our 1 point perspective. So just remember, this is what we're trying to learn, 1 point perspective. And the first thing we're gonna do is on your paper, it should have some grid lines, some little markings that tell you where the box that you're making should be so that they're all the same. So let's go ahead and do that. Each box is separated by 2 spaces. So there's 3 boxes in the practice. Your assignment will have 5 boxes, but it's the same thing except that it has more letters. A couple of things you need to know. A stroke is basically any type of a line used to make a letter. So for example, capital L has 2 strokes. It has 1 stroke going up and down, and then another stroke at the bottom going side to side. So those are the 2 strokes. And both strokes, or all strokes, are always done in 2 boxes. That's how big each stroke is going to be. So having said that, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start off by making a box. We did. So now we're gonna go ahead and make the strokes. The strokes are 2 squares wide. So we're gonna draw a line here, right? That's 2 squares. Over here, same thing, 1, 2. We're gonna make the letter O. So the same thing at the bottom, 1, 2. Draw a line, same at the top, 1, 2. Draw a line. And the O is pretty much done, except now, if you look at the top corner, like right here, from here to here, we just make sure that this line is cut right there. That very top corner needs to get cut off. So you can use a ruler to really do a neat job. But remember, it's only the bottom corner that needs to be, or all corners, needs to be erased. And so now that we have everything done, we can go ahead and erase things we don't need anymore. So we don't need this part, this part, this part, this part, this part right here. So now you can see the O pretty clearly, that all corners, right? This corner, that corner, that corner, that corner is gone. But remember that it's only 1 square that gets cut off, not 2, just 1 little space. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Same thing, we're gonna do a letter U. So we're gonna count 2 squares. We're gonna draw a line going down, making sure that all your lines are parallel. Same thing on this side, we're gonna count 2 squares. We're gonna go down that way. And then at the bottom, 1, 2. Then we're gonna go ahead and connect here. And just like before, we're gonna count just 1 square and connect the corners. And same thing over here. And then erase the inside. And then erase this right here. All right, so then we got 1 more letter to do. We're gonna do the letter T. So we're gonna count 2 squares, mark it. 2 squares on the other side, mark it. We're gonna draw a line. Now we need to make sure that everything is perfectly in the middle. So we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, mark it on this side, 1, 2, 3. That gives us 2 squares for that stroke. Then we're gonna go straight down. Then we're gonna go ahead and erase Okay, so now we're ready to start doing the actual perspective. Right now, we've just been doing lettering. So, depending on where the letter is, there's certain points that are going to be used to go to the vanishing point. This little dot right here, that's called the vanishing point. And the vanishing point is where all diagonals go. So we have a bunch of lines. We have verticals that are always going straight up and down, no matter what. Up and down is vertical. Horizontal is always left and right, no matter what, left and right. And then you have diagonals that go at an angle. It doesn't matter the angle, as long as it's not vertical and it's not horizontal. Then it becomes a diagonal. So for our perspective, most of those lines are gonna go to the vanishing point, which is this point here. So on the letter O, for example, this point, this point, this point, this point, and this bottom corner point all need to go to the vanishing point. So when I say they need to go, that means that you line them up. And please use a ruler and line up the points. And you'll see that it makes it look like the O is shooting out from the dot and it's flying towards you. And then we need this one over here. Okay, what we don't know yet is where we're going to cut it off, and we are going to cut it off. And the cutoff, and these notes are up here so that you can write them down. The cutoff is also at 2 boxes, so it's easy to remember. So we're going to do the same thing with the U. It's going to be here, 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 and here. So all of those points go to the vanishing point. Now, when you're doing these diagonals, it's always good to erase so that we can make our corrections. But it's also important that you don't draw so dark or heavy so that you can easily make some changes. Then, of course, we have the T. For the T, we're going to have this point, and this point. They're all going to go to the vanishing point. All right, so right now it looks like the word is shooting out at us, right? It's really small at the back and then it gets bigger and bigger as it gets closer to us. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start here at the very top of the letter and we're gonna count 2 squares, 1 and 2. Where that 2 box mark is, we're gonna go ahead and connect all the way across. But right here, what we're gonna do is we're going to sort of skip over certain parts so that it's only the top of the letter that we're affecting. So you can see it here at the top of the O, the top of the 2 parts of the U, and then the top of the T. So all of this up here, none of it is necessary. So we're going to go ahead and erase. All right, so now here's where we have to be very, very careful. Right here, we need an angled line, but it has to match this one. That's super important. So let's make sure that this and this both match. And where the 2 lines meet, then we go straight down vertically right there. And you can see it overlaps a little bit. Right here, same thing with this T. Right here in this corner, where these 2 lines, the diagonal and the horizontal line, where they meet, it's super important that they go straight down. Same thing with this one right here, that it goes straight down vertically. And these 2 should be pretty even right there. And so that shows you this part right here, which is another one of the 2 tops. So this is a top, that's a top, and this is also a top, because anything facing up is a top. And then we've got the other one right here where the 2 lines meet, this diagonal and this horizontal. Where they meet, we bring it straight down. And now we have a tricky part right here. We need to know where the T gets cut off here along this bottom line, because we really don't know. And we also need to figure out where this part gets cut off as well. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go to this corner in particular. We're gonna draw 2 lines and get rid of them, just so that we can figure out what we're going to create our little line here. So very lightly, I drew a line from here to the vanishing point, and then I'm going to go here to the back of the T, and then I'm going to make a line going horizontally, and where the two lines meet, right here, where the two lines meet, right there, we're gonna bring a line straight down. And that is the true correct location for that T. Now we don't need this part anymore. And the good thing about the video is that if you're not sure about something, I went too fast, you can always go back and rewind it, rewind, and watch it again until you figure out what you need to do. All right, so now we need to figure this one out over here in the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out this one here very carefully. And we might not be able to see it. I'm thinking that this has 2 boxes of material going outward, and this one has 2 boxes worth of material going outward. So it should be pretty much the same. So I think this one's gonna be okay the way it is, so we don't have to worry about it. So sometimes you have to really look at it, and if it works out, great. If not, you're gonna have to do something like this one, where the lines interact. All right, so we're gonna stop the video, and then we're going to go ahead and show you the coloring part next.